sponsor of the Unexpected Detour, is brought to you by We Are Healing Over Here candles. These candles are hand poured, made with 100% coconut wax, and the most important ingredient is love. The collection consists of 3 candles, or you can purchase them individually. They are great for stress, meditation, cleansing your home, refocusing after a tough day, and even date night. Try them. The first one is called Let Go and Let God, made with eucalyptus and sage. The second one, Vibe With Me, made with black amber and lavender. The third one, BS Repellent. I'm sure a lot of us could use some of that BS Repellent, made with white sage and lavender. The collection is $55 for 3 candles, sold individually $22 each. Pre-order today. They are accepting payments at their Cash App, We're Healing Over Here. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcasts right from your phone or computer. When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcasts on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Good evening. This is your host of the Unexpected Detour, which you are not aware. If you're not aware, I have changed my schedule from the 10th, the 20th, and the 30th of each month. So just so you know when you can find me, it'll be 10, 20, and 30th of the month. But let's get down to business. Let me reintroduce myself. Many have not heard of the Unexpected Detour podcast. Well, let me reintroduce myself. I am Frances Hammond. I am your host of the podcast as well as a blogger with the exact same title. In 2017, I was diagnosed with stage 2 triple positive breast cancer. And hearing that news, it was not a pretty sight. It was the worst thing I ever expected. It was a nightmare, trust me. You have to understand, I had just turned 60 and had a mammogram for the past 20 years. And to find out at 60 that you have been diagnosed with breast cancer is a shock to the system. I mean, my body went numb. Numb. And it was then I decided to start writing and journaling about these treatments. I mean, I had 18 treatments where you go to the chemotherapy, not all being chemo, but I had 20 treatments, rounds of radiation, which was no fun when you come out with these burn marks, and that wasn't fun. But while going through this ordeal, it was then I gave my journey a name. And that is where the Unexpected Detour was conceived from, because it was unexpected. So now that I had a name, I had to figure out, how am I going to get my story out there? I didn't want to be like everybody else and write a book. I wanted you to hear my voice, hear the passion in my story, let you hear what exactly I went through. So that's why I started the podcast. You know, I could never understand exactly what I was going through because I'm not a doctor. So I didn't understand all these medical terminologies. So for me, it was gibberish to me. All of those words that that the oncologist was saying it was all gibberish. So this is what I would do. Every time I went to chemotherapy, I had a different nurse. Sometimes I would have the same nurse over and over again. But you know when you're not sure of something, but you trust God, but then you still have that little bit of inkling of doubt in your mind. Is this stuff really going to work? How will you come out on the other side? Well, this was what was happening to me. I didn't know how I was going to come out on the other side, so I would talk to the nurses, and with each nurse, I got the same answer. But what I did get was a lot of encouragement. So I thank those nurses at Sloan Kettering. They offered a lot of encouragement. Best nurses I've ever had. So, and then, even though me hearing these words and listening, I would go home and I would look up everything. I'm writing down things that they're saying, but I also reverted back to my medical chart in the hospital portal, which you have when you're a patient, and I would look up these words. Now, mind you, again, I'm not a medical profession. So I'm looking up words, dissecting this, dissecting that, trying to see what is going on. And guess what? It still meant nothing to me. It took for me to sit at some seminars and to really get the gist of my diagnosis and to understand it, not fully, because there's still a lot more to cancer that we don't know about. But in my circumstances, by me sitting there listening, I took away a lot. And I was very, very grateful that I walked away knowing something and always learning a little bit more from the seminars of exactly the type of breast cancer I had. So I was on a mission and I wanted to open up my platform for the unexpected detour for other women to come on and just to tell their story, because everybody had a story, everybody had a journey. I mean, I could sit there and I can listen to these stories, but I was trying to open up the platform. You didn't have to show your face, but maybe you could talk about it and it might save somebody else's life. Well, I had one person come on, which I am very, very grateful for. And after that, it was just like everything hit a roadblock. Nobody wanted to really come and tell. They rather write about it and make a book, but to just hear their voice and the passion in it, nobody wanted to do that. At least I couldn't get anybody to do it. So I had to stop asking and I had to take in consideration their feelings because I did meet some people, some women, and their thing was they chose to forget. They wanted to forget that part of their life, and I had to respect it. So that's when I backed away. And I said, I'll share my story. Maybe my story can encourage somebody else, but they didn't have to share theirs. And after a while, I just focused in on life. And with that, I concluded that life is not just cancer, it's not just breast cancer, but it's full of detours that one of us is going to go on. And there's no way to tell these detours. So I had to open up this platform, the Unexpected Detour, to let others share their detours. I did one with alopecia, and my sister friend, she shared her detour. So I encourage you, if you're going through an unexpected detour and you want to come and talk about it, my platform is open, the Unexpected Detour. If you'd like for me to contact you, you can contact me at the unexpected detour 17 at gmail.com. And with that, good night, and we'll be back on the 20th. Have a blessed one.